So I just recorded this like video thing that's pretty long or whatever, like a ramble about a thing. It's not like crazy, highly edited and stuff, but I was like, wait a minute, I just got an idea. I just had a great idea. Why don't I make a series called I Love? Because I've already got the I Hate Everything, I've got the I Love Everything character. Why don't we combine it all and have an I Love series for when it's things that are relevant? And I'm not this peppy in the video. I'm way more just like kind of pissed off actually, so it doesn't even really fit into the I Love name. But it's me defending something that I do like. So I figured, wait, why don't I just call it this, name it this, yada yada yada, here we go. Yeah, suggest other ones, any other things that might make a good thing like this. This is like a filler thing, you know? While I'm working on Search for Words, while I'm working on the next episode, this is just a good thing, have in between, nice new series I'm rambling on now, intro. So I guess it's reached that point where it's cool to hate The Force Awakens now. Because, you know, it happens with everything that comes out. Like, it gets released, people love it, people's expectations are so high, they go in and they just want to hate it. They don't want to... When someone tells you that something's good, then you kind of temper your expectations in such a way where you go into it and you look for flaws actively. I made the video a few months ago called I Hate Hype Culture or something, which was basically saying, look, listen, specifically with Star Wars in particular. I mean, like, the movie was, like, ridiculously hyped up. But, like, that's what I said in the video. I said, like, be realistic about this. It's a fucking movie. Temper your expectations. You know, we know what culture is like at this point. We love regurgitating and banding together to get excited for things that you might not even deserve it. But some of the dumb, stupid shit I'm seeing is just like, what? Why? Like, we did like a little like review discussion on Jar Media about The Force Awakens, and all I saw were like comments like, 11 minutes in and I'm still waiting for you to get off J.J. Abrams' dick. Come on, Jar. I really didn't like this movie. So many problems that all these fanboys are oblivious to. Like, I don't care if you liked or disliked the movie. I really, really don't. If you dislike it that much, like, good for you. I don't care. But when you turn around and say that I shouldn't like it or that I only like it because I'm a fanboy, that's when I put my middle finger up to you and say, fuck off. What a crime. What a crime that I actually enjoyed a movie for once. My apologies to all of you for finding some enjoyment in something that had been dead for me for so many fucking years. I mean, it's not a perfect movie. I mean, what is a perfect movie? There's like no perfect movies. But for a movie to be a success in my head, you need to be able to balance the flaws with the things that you enjoy. And for me, the high points are so high that the low points are kind of meaningless to me. I have my problems with The Force Awakens. I have my problems with every movie. But it's the first movie in a long time that I've just genuinely enjoyed and actually had fun and wasn't horrendously disappointed in some way. I feel like people are getting so bogged down in the nitty-gritty details that they're just kind of forgetting that Star Wars has never been this like godly, ridiculous force of nature in terms of like quality. Before this one, there were 6 movies. And that fucking awful animated one. And 3 of those 6 movies are fucking awful. And Return of the Jedi is kind of a mess. Like, I like that movie, but like has a lot of problems. Just like this movie or whatever. I saw one comment in particular that was so fucking stupid and idiotic and insulting that it was this person alone that inspired me to make this video. The movie was nothing but SJW garbage and feminist propaganda. Then they rehashed plots from 4, 5, and 6 in this movie. Real fans of Star Wars would not like this movie. The same shit was happening when Mad Max came out. It's feminist propaganda because it has a female character in it that actually does stuff. What a crime. What a fucking crime. The fact that the main character is a woman makes no difference to any of the problems that anyone actually has. Everyone's main problem with her is that she's like too overpowered and a Mary Sue. Like, if everything was exactly the same but she was a dude, then would it still be feminist propaganda? No. That's so fucking dumb. Such an idiotic thing to say. Like, I mean, it's so profoundly stupid that this is the reason that I just don't look at comments anymore. Even though this is a comment and I found it on Chris Stuckman's review, which by the way is just filled with comments of angry fucking people saying that the prequels are better and that they've lost respect for him because he enjoyed a movie. I guess it's because most of the comments on YouTube are from bumbling idiot children who can barely construct a sentence. Like on Chris's review, someone genuinely said, "Sorry, no offense, but I didn't expect this is going to be one of the worst movie of 2015. Never eyeing Chris because of this review." You know, I'm sure he's really losing sleep over the fact that you're never going to watch another one of his videos. The rose-tinted glasses passes people have for the original Star Wars is so ridiculously unbelievable at this point that no matter what anyone did in terms of like a sequel would be considered a disappointment to these people. Like, since when did bars for things have to be so goddamn high? Look, I don't want to sound like a prick or anything, but when I watch a movie, I probably look at it with a different eye than your general moviegoer. As in, I look at things like pacing, cinematography, writing, acting, the way the score is used, camera movements, all these little details that most people just don't care about. And that's the thing for me, like, this is one of the most genuine, like, actual movies in terms of like a big budget Hollywood movie that I've seen in just like such a long time. People keep saying, why do you like Mad Max so much? Because it was the same thing there. It's going back to this real, gritty, actual filmmaking where the whole movie just isn't on a green screen and the whole movie isn't based around action so bombastic that it's mind-numbing after 3 minutes of it. Like, I see so many comments of people saying, oh, the fights were so short and there were only 2 lightsaber fights. That's rubbish. I miss the epicness of the prequels. Yeah, but like, do you care about storytelling at all? Do you understand, like, that lightsaber fights are completely meaningless when you don't care about the characters, when you don't care about their internalization? Because that's all that lightsaber fights are. It's like this fun, entertaining way of representing what's going on inside a character's head. It doesn't need to be like 25 minutes long and be so much spectacle that it fucking breaks your brain. But clearly, I'm in the minority when I say that. Like, so many people give Revenge of the Sith this pass just because that has epic fight scenes in it and like a good John Williams score. But I hate that movie. I hate that movie out of the prequels the most, purely because so many people are so blind to how terrible it is. I mean, if you enjoy it, that's fine. You probably just say that I'm blinded by nostalgia of the originals, but I grew up with the prequels and I used to like them when I was a dumb idiot kid with no critical capability at all. Now I'm an adult who can look at things with a critical eye, and purely just based on the fundamental basics of filmmaking, Revenge of the Sith is a joke. It's aged so horribly as well. I watched all 3 of them like last year. They look awful now. But the point is, why are you getting so up in arms over people liking a movie that clearly had a lot of effort, care, attention, and love poured into it? Sure, it's manipulative because it's Star Wars, but Star Wars is Star Wars, and Star Wars is dumb. Star Wars is real dumb. So like, stop treating it like it's this godly, untouchable thing. Like, Jesus Christ, it's just entertainment. Like, calm your tits, everybody. Jesus. I know you're probably going to say that I'm like contradicting myself by saying that like the Revenge of the Sith's like shit or whatever and I hate it because of the flat characters, the badly written story, the really terrible, awful way that it's shot, the bad pacing, the mind-numbing action scenes, and all that stuff. Like, you'll say that I'm a hypocrite for saying that because a lot of you enjoy it or whatever, and I don't care if you enjoy it. This is me saying it, okay? And I actually have reasons for it. Just saying that it's feminist propaganda or stupid shit like that, that's not a reason, because it's not true. You have no way of backing that up. And I'm so amazed that so many people are so genuinely offended by Kylo Ren being like a conflicted, angsty character. Like, I guess you want another Darth Maul who is so cynical in his design, where the only thing that matters is that he looks like a devil man creature with horns and has a double lightsaber. That's his entire character. Wow, how interesting. Sorry that we actually get a character with motivation who is interesting and is horribly flawed. If you really think he's comparable to the bitchy, whiny asshole that Anakin was in the prequels, then I mean, like, okay, great for you. Believe it or not, there is a difference between a character that is flawed and a character that is just so poorly written that he flip-flops all over the place like Anakin in the prequels. Kylo Ren is nothing like Anakin in the prequels, okay? He's just not. I'm gonna still enjoy it though, because I thought it was really goddamn enjoyable movie flick thing. I know that the hype thing is so ridiculously exaggerated at this point that it's kind of down to individuals now to not get hyped and not get worked up over everything, so the blame isn't completely on you. But at the same time, just calm the fuck down, be realistic. And to you idiots who are just making yourself look like dummies in this echo chamber circle jerk that the YouTube comment section is, just maybe think about the things you're saying, because you look like real dumbasses. I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments why I'm wrong in every way, but like, people are so unconfident in their opinion that they have to group together like a bunch of flies and all regurgitate the same point over and over again just so they can feel safe in what they're saying, like has some kind of weight to it. Like, I've done my research, I've read why people like it, I've read why people don't, and then using that information, I've come to my own conclusion, and my conclusion is that I fucking like it. A lot. And there's not one thing that any of you can say in the comments is going to change my mind. Like, it's okay to feel the way you feel about a thing. Like, it really is. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. But at least be reasonable with it. At least have reasons in your head for why you can justify it. Just saying, it was overhyped. Well, I mean, stop and think about that for a second. Is that your fault for getting all wrapped up in it? Because I knew that was happening. and I removed myself from it. And as a result, I just enjoyed it for what it was. I don't expect everyone to look into it in the same way that I do, in terms of like how it was made as a movie, using practical effects and miniatures and all this craziness that I really appreciate. And if you didn't like it because the story is too similar, or because you felt like the characters weren't developed enough, or the motivations were weird, and that's fine. That's perfectly reasonable. That's not what I have a problem with here. It's when you turn around and say to me that I shouldn't like it because I'm just a fanboy, and that everything I say is unjustified because I like a thing. Do you know how easy it would be for me to just say that I hated the movie and just list off this string of things that everybody has already just puked up all over the internet? But I don't feel that way. Rant over. Ramble over. This isn't replacing a video, by the way. This is just something that's been on my mind for a little bit, and I thought I could just put it up in as like a little filler while I'm working on Search for the Worst Thing. I'm kind of taking a new tact with how I approach videos now. Like, having a deadline every week is good, but now and again, looking back, it might have been an idea to like delay a video by a day just to polish it up or add things to it, reflect on it or whatever, and being more free in terms of that is more, it just makes me happier. Then I'm happier when I release a video. Like that emoji video, I was really happy with, because like I wasn't as rushed and I was able to spend the time on it that I needed to. So I mean, if you don't have a huge problem with that, I'm just gonna keep doing that. Fuck it, I'm just gonna keep doing it anyway, I don't care. So tell me what you think in the comments below in terms of all this cool to hate it now thing that, you know, happens with every huge piece of media, book, music, anything that's released in this day and age, and how it's cool to hate it like a month after it comes out, whatever, without any rhyme or reason. And I mean, if you're gonna say what you think about it, just be fair about it. There's nothing wrong with liking it, there's nothing wrong with disliking it. As long as you have your reasons, they make sense, then that's cool by me. Unless you like the prequels, in which case, get the fuck out of here.